Now we've completed all the checks for this example and we figure out that our regression equation is sound. And by the way, here's our regression equation right in here. That's a sound equation that we can actually use to predict things moving forward. So let's see what we mean by that. There's an example here. Say next week, which is week 11, we've already had the first 10 weeks, you plan to spend $850 on advertisement. How much sales would you expect to make in week 11 based on the estimated simple regression model? So all you have to do to find the answer to 1 is take your 850, that's your advertising spend, and you put it into this equation here, 850 into there, and it's going to generate an answer. What we can actually do is pop over into Excel, and it's looking a little bit messy, this spreadsheet, but we can do it down here. We've already been working on it earlier in this area here. I can just put 850 in here and calculate the estimated sales. So why don't I just do that? So if I spend 850 this time, what are the estimated sales going to be? Well, they're going to be the intercept plus the slope multiplied by your 850. And that's going to give us a figure of $91,168 and around 92 cents. And so that's the answer. Let's go back over here. And that's the answer we can actually put in here. The actual answer in here is going to be $91,168 and let's say 92 cents. We'll round it off to 92 cents. So that's the answer. So that's saying we're predicting that for the future, it may be next week, but it's the future. We're predicting that for the future, next week, if we spend $850 on advertising, that we will have sales revenue of $91,168.92. So the prediction we're making is about something that has yet to be observed or yet to occur. We're predicting the future. The next part of the question says, compute the 95% prediction interval for sales in a week. Well, we just predicted that we're going to make sales of $91,168.92. That, if you remember, is a point estimate. It's a single value. And now they're asking us to make an interval estimate, give it a range for this figure, for this predicted sales. So again, a prediction interval is talking about the future. So they're saying, look, you predicted that you're going to make $91,168.92 in sales. Can you give me an interval estimate for your prediction? And that interval estimate will be called a prediction interval. And we've actually got software, which I'm going to just pop over in a second and show you how to actually do. We have software, we've got a template that you can use in Excel, and you can use it on the exam. And then finally, part 3 says compute the 95% confidence interval of the mean sales for week 11. Now, this wording I've taken directly from the PowerPoints and is somewhat misleading. That is saying for week 11. But let me explain to you what the difference is between that prediction and the confidence interval. The prediction interval is saying, if you spend $850 next week in the future, we predict that you're going to make somewhere between this and this amount. We'll see what the amounts are. It's going to give us a range. The confidence interval, it says, based on all the information we have thus far, not talking about the future, not talking about next week, based on the information we have thus far, up until now, if people spent $850 on advertising, what is the estimate, in this case the interval estimate, for the average of everybody based on all the information we've gathered so far? So that's the difference. The confidence interval is based on the average of everything, whereas the prediction interval is looking at a future event, one single solitary future event. Okay, so let's actually see how you work those out. Well, first of all, to work those out, we're going to have to open up a Excel spreadsheet, and it's this one right here. So if you scroll down to this point in your notes, you should be able to find it. So regression interval template, use this for calculating prediction and confidence intervals. So we click on that, and at some point my computer will open it. So here it is right here. So we fill in everything up here and nothing down here in yellow. And down the bottom will give us the prediction and confidence interval. So we need all these figures. Now, some of these figures we already know. The sample size is 10. I can actually put that in. We already know that the sample size is 10 for this question. We know that X was 850. If you spend X was 850, the amount you spend on advertising. So we can put that in there. And we're going to assume for this question that alpha is 5%. So we still need these numbers up here to fill them in. I'll tell you exactly where you get those numbers from. If we go to our spreadsheet, I'll highlight them for you. I'll do it in a slightly different color now. There you go. We need these numbers in here, and we need this number up here called the standard error as well. The standard error is the standard deviation, exactly the same concept. It's the spread from a central point. Standard error is the spread around your regression line. So when you fit your straight line to the data, it's telling you, it's giving you an indication of how spread the data is around the regression line. So, it's telling you how spread out. If this is your regression line, it's giving you an indication of how far the points are spread around that line. So the numbers we need is the standard error and the intercept and the slope, and you can cut and paste them in. You can do it however you want to do it, but just write them in. So this figure is going to be 46,486.4865. The figure two below that is going to be 52.5675676. Might be easier just to cut and paste this stuff. Be less chance of making a mistake. 6837.15011, and over here the standard error was 9884.56628, and finally this one is 10.2608569, barring any mistakes. It's telling us the point estimate down here is the same value we came up before. The point estimate is just saying, look, if you spend $850 next week on advertising, your estimated revenue, sales revenue, is going to be $91,168.92. We already came up with that. It's the same figure we came up with from the other spreadsheet right down here. It's the same figure we came up with down here. So this is actually telling us what the prediction interval and the confidence interval are. So the prediction interval, it says, okay, we're saying that we're predicting that you're going to have revenue of $91,168.92, and we can give you a 95% prediction interval. So we're talking about the future. So we think you can actually have sales revenue of somewhere between $74,496 and $107,841. And that would be your prediction interval. You're predicting what's going to happen in the future, and you're given an interval for that. Happens to be a 95% confidence interval because alpha is 5%. The confidence interval here, This is the lower limit and the upper limit. As you can see, it's not as wide. It's a narrower interval. The one above is a wider interval. The confidence interval, which is a narrower interval, is saying, based on all the information we've got thus far, take all the information into account. If you spend $850, this is what we expect the average sales to be overall, based on the current information. It's not talking about the future, it's talking about what we've got thus far. So that would be the answers for the prediction interval and the confidence interval.